Hi everybody, reading and discussion students. We are into week 7. So today is October 11th. And for most of the campus, this is review week. We'll be talking a little bit about Unit 4 today, just to reading. We'll do reading 1 together, and I'm going to ask you to get into reading 2 to prepare for the next class. We will have our second classes this week, but today is a holiday. Today is Hangul Day, not like I said last video. Last week was Foundation Day. Today is Hangul Day, but it's still a red day. It's still a holiday. So I'm sending you this video so we can go over Unit 1 at your leisure. You can watch this video, and when we get to classroom, we can go into reading 2 and hopefully finish the unit, so we can talk about some other stuff before our midterm. Our midterm is next week. Just a second, let me tell you a little bit. Okay, actually we talked about classroom etiquette, that's fine. We've talked about the class calendar. This is our last holiday, so again, I gave you a list already, you might remember, of all the class days we've been missing. I think this is the last actual holiday on our calendar, but we've missed, some of us have missed 5 classes already because of everything since Chuseok. So if you are watching this video, that means we don't need to do any makeup classes after the tests are finished. That would be silly and not make any sense. So instead, let's get through today, and as a video lecture, you can watch it again and again if you'd like, and review for the exam. If you do have questions, of course you can contact me. I think Edmodo or should be easy for everyone now. Edmodo, send me a private message if you have a question or comment. Or you can also call my office during weekends or holidays. I'm still here for some reason. I'm still working. Anyway, just a moment. Okay, so we're going to start Unit 4 today with our video lecture. Unit 4 is marketing, and we'll be talking about, in our readings, distinguishing facts from opinions. Okay, we did that a little bit already, but basically distinguishing means making the difference between, okay, which is a fact, which is an opinion. Okay. Critical thinking will be using a Venn diagram. For vocabulary, we'll be examining suffixes, and for writing, there's an opinion essay. Again, we don't need to finish the writing section, but if you want to, that's fine. It's good practice. And the grammar, we'll be examining compound sentences. Okay, so let's take a look over here. On page 81, they talk about the unit question. Does advertising help or harm us? Does it help us or does it harm us? Here's some discussion questions just to get you thinking about the unit. Have you ever bought something because of an online ad? Do you think you were targeted to receive this ad? Why or why not? Number 2, has an advertisement ever helped you in some way? kind of ad was it? How did it help you? Okay, so I want you to think about online advertising. Okay, obviously it's different from watching regular television or listening to the radio, because there's no necessarily targeted audience such that an algorithm would perform in measuring your online presence and shopping habits and details. So you might think about the difference, because online advertising is very different from what you see on the bus, for instance, or in a newspaper. Online advertising nowadays seems to be a lot more appropriated to your private preferences, to what you are looking for. There is a lot of computer algorithms that can track what you're interested in and what you like to read about or look at or listen to. Next, we have a Q online classroom, and they're going to ask you to complete this chart with the ideas from the box. One of them has been given to us already from Una, and then it asks, which student do you agree with the most? So can you think of any examples of how advertising helps us or harms us to support your ideas? So here's kind of a warmer. Let's listen first.
Unit 4, Marketing, the Q Classroom.
In Unit 4, we're going to talk about advertising. So let's start off with the Unit 4 question, does advertising help or harm us? What do you think, Una? Does advertising help us?
Sometimes. We get information about new products.
True. What do you think, Felix? Do you agree with that?
Not really. I think advertising harms us more than it helps us because it makes us want things we don't need. We can be perfectly happy with what we have, but then we see an ad and we aren't satisfied anymore. So we buy things we don't need and we create more trash and pollution. I don't think it's good.
What do you think, Marcus? Does advertising help or harm us?
Advertising pays for a lot of things I like TV shows and sports events. So I think it helps us in that way. And I'm going to buy things anyway, so I like to know what's available. Lots of times you can tell from an ad if it's something that interests you or not.
Well, we have some disagreement here. How about you, Sophie? Do you think advertising helps us or harms us?
I guess I agree more with Felix. We get information from advertising, but it's not really good information because it's not objective. The companies just want to sell their products no matter what. I don't think you can trust the information you get from advertising.
Okay, you can listen to that more than once if you need to answer these questions and fill out the chart. There's an online discussion board that we don't use, so you can just X this part, okay? The IQ practice here does not involve any more activities for you because we are not going to do the extra work with another discussion online. So that one you can X. Let's go to the next page. Reading 1, here's a preview. The objective is to find out what is this reading really talking about? It's an article from university's news site about targeted advertising. And to preview, you need to read the title and the first paragraph. And then this question, what is the article's main idea? Okay, so let's read. The title is, Can Targeted Ads Change You? Okay, so if an advertisement is specifically for you and your online presence, can it change you? Imagine that you're browsing on the internet and an ad pops up for a jazz concert at a popular club. You're happy that you received the ad, and then another ad appears offering you a coupon for a discount ticket to the jazz concert. You have some interest in jazz music, but now that you have received this ad, you feel differently. Someone else recognized that you are a jazz music enthusiast. You start to believe that about yourself, and you might actually purchase the coupon for the concert. So someone targeted you for specifically for your musical preference. What is the article's main idea? Alright, might be obvious, but the quick write, think about this. Do you receive a lot of advertisements online? Do you find the products are interesting? How do you think advertisers decide to place their ads? Alright, so that's a three-part question, so I need at least 3 sentences from you to answer that. Don't forget, you can use your small book or post-its if you need to scatter some stickers on the page. That's fine, but you should be able to answer all of those questions. I don't want to see one-word answers, okay? I don't want to see one-word sentences. I'd like to see you practice your discussion skills. After going through vocabulary, you can practice online. Pronunciation for these words we will find in reading 1. Accurate, acknowledge, factor, impact, imply, reflect, relevant, specifically, and suggest. All of these words will be scattered throughout the text, which you know what, I'm going to let you listen to the investigation.
Unit 4, Reading 1.
Can targeted ads change you? Imagine that you're browsing on the internet and an ad pops up for a jazz concert at a popular club. You're happy that you received the ad, and then another ad appears offering you a coupon for a discount ticket to the jazz concert. You have some interest in jazz music, but now that you have received this ad, you feel differently. Someone else recognized that you were a jazz music enthusiast. You start to believe that about yourself, and you might actually purchase the coupon for the concert. This change in how you see yourself may be the result of receiving an advertisement that was targeted to you specifically. When advertisers look at where you go on the internet, they use algorithms to make a profile of you. Then they use this information about you to find ads for products that you might be interested in. So, the ad is, in a way, designed just for you. It is personalized to your characteristics. This type of ad is called a behaviorally targeted ad. A new study suggests that when you receive an ad like this, you might change how you think about yourself. In the study, researchers worked with college students to explore just how behaviorally targeted ads might change how people feel about themselves. In one experiment, participants were asked to plan a weekend trip to Atlanta, Georgia. They were instructed to spend 10 minutes researching places to stay, restaurants, and things to do in Atlanta. When they finished, they went on the internet to browse. This created their browsing history for the targeted ad. Then the participants were shown an ad for a sophisticated restaurant. Some of the participants were told that they received the ad because of their browsing history. behaviorally targeted. Others were told that they received the ad because of other factors, like their gender or age. And a third group was told nothing at all about why they received the ad. Finally, they all received an ad for a discount coupon for the restaurant. They needed to answer questions about how likely they would be to buy the coupon for the restaurant. The results showed that the participants who had been behaviorally targeted to receive the ad were more likely to purchase the coupon. In fact, they answered questions describing themselves as sophisticated. They also acknowledged that they received the ad because the advertisers implied that they were sophisticated. They then saw themselves as sophisticated. The others in the study were less likely to purchase the coupon. In another part of the study, participants chose products from a list of different items, such as laundry detergent or light bulbs. Among the items were environmentally friendly or green products. Based on their choices, some of the participants then received an ad for another green product. Those who received this ad believed that they were environmentally aware. They purchased the green product and even took it one step further. They donated money to an environmental organization at the end of the study. They perceived themselves as environmentally aware and acted on this characteristic. The results of the study seem to suggest that behaviorally targeted ads can have an impact on the consumer. However, there are 3 conditions for the ads to be effective. First, the ad must be based on the consumer's past online behavior. Second, the consumer must know that he or she is receiving a behaviorally targeted ad. Finally, the ad must be accurate. In other words, the ad must reflect some interest in the product by the consumer. In a further test, participants received an ad for hiking boots. Those participants who enjoyed occasional outdoor activities, such as nature walks, expressed interest in the product. After receiving the ad, they thought of themselves as outdoorsy and said that they would likely purchase the product. They might even do something related to this characteristic, like go for a hike. For participants with no interest in outdoor activities, the ad had no effect. They did not think differently about themselves, and it did not affect their behavior. What does this mean for the average consumer? With the current technology in advertising, you might receive ads for products that you are interested in. You will know the ad is related to your past online activity by the blue icon in the corner of the ad. This icon indicates that you are receiving the ad because of your past behavior on the internet. After receiving this type of ad, you might change how you see yourself. For example, you might become a sophisticated food consumer or an environmentally aware person. And is this so bad? Some people feel that advertisers have too much information about them. They find this to be disturbing, even scary. But others feel differently. Wouldn't you rather receive ads for products or activities that are relevant to who you are? You might even find something about yourself that you never knew.
Okay. So of course you can watch that video more than once if you'd like. To practice your speaking if you are inclined. But then you have to go through the vocabulary questions. Page 85 asks you to look at the vocabulary section and complete each sentence with the list, using the list. You might need to change the form of some of the words. So if the form is in a different tense, okay, past tense or future tense or simple present or progressive present, you might need to look carefully at which of these forms is needed. Identify, okay, there's more practice, but identify part C asks you to read the main ideas and find the paragraph where they are found. Okay, the main ideas is usually the topic sentence. Further into page 86, there is part D. We categorize True or false? We've done this a million times. If it's true, T. If it's false, F. But if it's false, you also need to correct the sentence. Okay, and we've done this for 3 units already, so you should be fine with that. Identify. Part E. The article mentions that there are 3 conditions for behaviorally targeted ads to be effective. Look at the conditions in the chart. Then find an example of each from the article. Indicate the paragraph that included the number. So they give you one example here is paragraph 4. The condition, if the consumer must know he or she received this ad because of his or her past online behavior. Paragraph 4 states that some of the participants were told that they received the ad because of their browsing history. Browsing, your online, every time you go look online using a search engine, whatever, that's part of your history, your browsing history. Okay, so this is effective advertising. You need a condition and you need an example to show how the condition works. Can you think of any instances where you have felt happy about receiving an ad? Okay, if you have any new information, you can add that in your opinion. Maybe you've changed your mind about being happy. But in the past, were you happy about receiving an online ad? There's an IQ practice as well. Write what you think. Okay, here's some discussion questions. There are 3 of them. Do you find it helpful to receive ads based on your online browsing? Give examples of how such ads might save you time or money. Number 2, do you think advertisers should make a profile of you? Okay, a profile of you. Do you think this is an invasion of privacy? Explain your view. Okay, so a profile could be as general as what you need to give. Most of cookie sites is like your age, your gender, and what you're looking for. Number 3, have you received an advertisement for something that is based on a certain characteristic or an interest that you had or have? Did you continue to get more and more ads for products related to this interest? How do you feel about the repeated ads? This should be very common. I think everyone has to deal with this almost every day now. Not just while you're browsing online, but any social media or even emails. You'll probably get a lot of spam, a lot of extra content that you don't need, that you've seen before, sometimes more than once in a day. Choose one of the questions and write a paragraph. Okay, well, write a few sentences in response. Show me that you understand, okay, the question and that you can discuss it. The reading skill is about distinguishing facts from opinions, basically separating what is a fact from what is an opinion. My parents have been married for 25 years. That is a fact. Okay. Relationships with human beings are messy and unpredictable. That's an opinion. Others might say that they're great and needed, right? Or something completely different. My class starts at 7:30 a.m. That's a fact. That's when my class starts. It doesn't change. My classes are difficult. That's an opinion. Others might feel that the class is easy. Okay, so there is a skill video. I'm going to let you watch that on your own, but I want you to go on to page 88 and categorize fact or opinion after you've watched the video, and identify by underlining the part of each sentence that makes it an opinion. Okay? Which of these, well, they might be all opinions, but you have to underline what makes it an opinion. Okay? And there's more IQ practice coming up for your online workbook. In defense of advertising, this is reading 2. I'd like you to prepare by reading this before class, so we don't spend 20 minutes looking at this page or pages in class. You're going to read an article based on a Canadian radio show. Hey, Canada. A Canadian radio show. It gives us a less common opinion of advertising. So you can preview this article reading the title and the first sentence of each paragraph. Well, it's called In Defense of Advertising, and there are 7 paragraphs. Do you think the writer finds advertising to be positive or negative, good or bad? After reading those first sentences. Quick write. Think about an advertisement that provided useful information about something important to you. Can you? If you can, you should be able to write something for a small paragraph. Maybe it's something that you forgot about. For me, it's been a while since I've been looking at useful information through advertising, but usually that's how it works. Vocabulary. Okay, you're going to be encountering these words through the reading. Annoying, annual, broadcasting, donation, entertain, exposure, memorable, support, and surrounding. So you can go online to practice. I'll let you listen to it. Hopefully you can check your own pronunciation as you work through the text.
Unit 4, Reading 2.
In defense of advertising. How often do we hear comments such as these? I hate advertising. Or, there's too much advertising in the world. In the 21st century, it seems that advertising is everywhere we look. We see it along highways, in trains, buses, even in taxi cabs, as well as on the internet and on TV. It's hard to escape advertising. But do we really want to? Actually, when you think about it, advertising provides us with quite a few benefits. First, advertising gives us information that we need. For instance, if you want to buy a new appliance or a new car, you can look for the best deals in ads that appear in newspapers, in magazines, on television, or even on the radio. These ads give you details about the product and help you find out where you can get the best price for something. You don't actually have to go to lots of different stores. So, in this way, advertising provides a service for the consumer. Besides providing information, advertising also supports the entertainment industry, including television and radio. It may be annoying to sit through commercials during your favorite TV show, but the advertisers have paid for its production. This, in turn, pays the TV crew for their work. Even public broadcasting has supporters. The company's names appear at the beginning or end of the shows. Without their support, there would be more hours of pledge drives asking you, the consumer, for more money. Many presenters, such as newsreaders, get their starts from writing or appearing in commercials or print advertisements. It's a way for them to get both experience and exposure. And what about advertising and sports? There are hundreds of large banners surrounding sports stadiums, and hundreds, thousands, even millions of people notice them. Professional sports depend on advertising to pay for the fields, the equipment, and yes, even the salaries of professional athletes. Think about the Super Bowl in the United States. Everyone looks forward to this annual event, even those who do not like football, because the commercials are known to be the best of the year. Companies pay as much as $1 million for 60 seconds of advertising time during this event. So a lot of effort goes into these commercials. As a result, viewers want to watch the commercials almost as much as the sports. When we're not out shopping or being entertained, many of us enjoy surfing the web. Whenever you open a page in Google or access an online newspaper, such as the New York Times, there are dozens of ads. These ads help pay for the services that the websites provide. Without the advertising, the websites could not provide those services. They would not have the money to continue. There has always been a good side to advertising in the form of public service announcements, PSAs. These are advertisements that provide people with information about issues like diseases or medical problems, as well as public health and safety. The commercials are often very creative and informative. They provide viewers with the information they need in a memorable way. Various companies pay for the PSAs, and advertising agencies make donations of their time and expertise to produce them. It would be a much duller, certainly less colorful world without advertising. Think of all the ways that advertising improves our world. The next time you look at that clothing catalog, think of all the creativity and work that went into making it. From clothing designers and photographers to paper company workers and store employees, thousands of people worked to help produce that catalog. And when you watch your favorite TV show, remember that the commercials were partly responsible for what you've just watched and enjoyed. We may wish that commercials and advertisements weren't necessary at all, but for the most part, we are all content to have them as part of our lives.
All right, guys. So you can listen to that more than once if you'd like. You can even get into reading 2 at home if you'd like to be prepared for class. But we won't be spending a lot of time reading in class, okay? Like, hopefully none, so that we can go through, starting with vocabulary, etc., talk about the exercises for reading 2. I'm hoping by reading 1 will be finished for everyone, so that we can discuss those as well very quickly. So I will be seeing some of you on Wednesday this week. Reading discussion 05, and then Thursday I will be seeing the rest of you 07 and 09 students. So you have a couple days to prepare for that class. And again, we're going to be having our midterms week 8, which is just around the corner. As a reminder, reading discussion 05, your midterm will be on October 20th, and reading discussion 07 and 09, regular times on Thursday, okay, will be your midterm. So we don't have a lot of classroom left, okay, before the midterm, but we should be able to get through Unit 4 and talk about some of the answers from our previous units as well. You don't have to study the listening practice for the midterm. There is no listening practice midterm exam, but we will be focusing on those again after the midterm. And I want you all to stay on top of things. We will be moving quickly this week and next, so please spend as much time as you can. If you have any questions, you can ask me. In class is probably best, right? Just ask me questions that you have in class, or talk to me after class as well, or on Edmodo. Alright, so I'll see you all very soon, and yeah, enjoy your holiday. Happy Hangul. Bye for now.